Morin and John debated whether to tell the others. Penny secretly listened from the doorway. The next morning, the survivors gathered to discuss the alien robot. From Angela's account, they learned the first attack had been planned by alien robots. She had been badly injured, and her husband had been killed. Victor, the group's leader, proposed putting the robot on trial and locking it up, as they once did on Earth. John argued that the robot had changed, like a rebooted machine, and had saved lives the night before. In the end, they agreed to keep the robot isolated from the rest of the group. Furious, Angela stormed out, with June following close behind. June tried to manipulate her by pretending to offer psychological help, but Angela walked away. Meanwhile, Don told Victor they needed fuel to escape the planet. The alien eels had consumed most of it, but Don believed fuel from their crashed ship in the desert was still usable. In return, he demanded more money. Outside, Angela noticed a green ribbon tied to a rope. Following it, she found a package. Inside was a gun. Without hesitation, she hid it behind her back. In the forest, Will examined strange stones when the alien robot approached and handed him a larger rock. Will said they had similar rocks on Earth. The robot split it open, revealing colorful ores inside. Then it raised its hand for a high five. Will smiled and returned the gesture. The lights on the robot's face glowed softly, almost like happiness. Meanwhile, Don had already left to find fuel. He hadn't gone far when a cliff blocked his path, and gas started shooting up from the ground ahead. Don wasn't bothered. He casually turned on some music and took a different route. Back at the camp, Penny had asked the handsome boy out on a date. When they got to their spot, they saw that the waterfall had dried up because the planet was getting hotter. Penny then told him her plan. She was going to pretend to fall into the water and yell for help so he could rescue her, and after that, we could really fall into a hormone yoga session. It was clear Penny had liked the handsome boy since they first met, and now the two of them were falling in love. It's quite surprising that they could still find time for romance in such a dangerous place. On Don's end, they had reached the location of the spaceship, but it was nowhere to be seen. They thought the ship might have fallen off the cliff, but it was too high to see anything. Shortly after, Victor called off the deal and went back to camp. When Judy found out about their deal, she confronted Don. He admitted he was just trying to make some money and was now mad that he couldn't. Angrily, he kicked the ground, only to hear a metal sound. After digging through the sand, they discovered the spaceship had been buried right under their feet. They quickly found the entrance to the ship and connected the fuel hose. Since the area could collapse at any time, they used 2 vehicles and ropes to keep the spaceship stable. Just as the last drop of fuel was being taken out, the ship's balance shifted, and it was about to fall off the cliff. They decided to cut the ropes and let the ship fall. However, Don was still inside. He rushed to the storage room, opened a box, and discovered June's real identity. He knew Judy was too kind to give up on him, so he had no choice but to cut the last safety rope himself. The ship then fell. As everyone rushed to the cliff to mourn, a hand reached out. At the last second, Don had managed to escape. On the spaceship, Angela found out June was pretending to be a psychologist and agreed to have therapy with her. June used the chance to bring up Angela's painful memories from her time on the mother ship, but couldn't get her to the next step of her plan. Waiting outside the room, June's smile showed that everything was going just as she wanted. After the session, Angela couldn't sit still. She left her room and asked where John's family's spaceship was.